So why don't you, well, if you don't mind, can you tell me, I mean, I know a lot about your project, but just, I want to hear it in your words. Like tell me a little bit about the Climate Listening Project.
So I started the Climate Listening Project 3 years ago, and I've been traveling around across America and even to Belize and around the world with partners to the Paris Climate Talks, a scientist that I collaborate with on the Cultivating Resilience piece, Laura Lennox. She is in Stockholm and England and traveling around Europe right now. And so that's really a big part of the Climate Listening Project is collaboration. And so I've had a chance to work with the National Audubon Society and the Belize Audubon Society, along with local chapters in the North Carolina Audubon Society, following a bird to Belize, listening to stories along the way. I've had a chance to listen to farmers, listen to faith leaders, work with NRDC in collaboration on a couple different tours, and also the Green Chalice and the different interfaith and creation care groups. I've had a chance to work with the Moms Clean Air Force most recently in traveling across America to 8 states where I was listening to women and moms, parents who are connected by their care for their children. And so it's these little things that connect us: the bird we love, the food we eat, the things we love, the things we need. And so I recently actually just released a new video, Dear Tomorrow, and that was in collaboration with that amazing group, Letters to the Future, from moms to their children, from parents to their children, and telling them that, we tried, we tried. And so that's really what the Climate Listening Project is about, is following not only the stories of impacts from the fossil fuel industries and climate change, but also the solutions, the people that are working together, the people that are taking action, the hopeful stories, the things that connect us in our communities. So I just released a new documentary series, a 5-part series that I'm rolling out called The Story We Want, and that features women across America who are working together. And in my mind, they're creating hope, and hopefully they will inspire others to share their stories as well.
That's awesome. And it just sounds so interesting, and it sounds, I like that you are, you're literally and figuratively following a bird, which is just amazing. I mean, that's something that a lot of people, I think, they have a very clear-cut idea of what's going to happen when they start a project, and it generally doesn't go that way, right? Usually.
Right. No. And I've done tours before. I've been kind of on my own filming different stories for 6 years. And when I started this, it really was a collaboration. It was with a local group, Mountain True. I was working with my friend Anna Jane Joyner on the Years of Living Dangerously in collaboration with the Sierra Club. And we're just doing all of these things. And just kind of started, folks wanted to listen. Folks wanted to know what climate impacts were being seen locally. And I wanted to film. I wanted to film stories, and just kind of started going. And different folks, different groups have approached me and said, hey, follow this story now. So I felt really lucky in that, because I fought for a long time just doing one thing or working with one group. I really enjoy collaboration. I really enjoy being able to follow the stories. And so this has given me an opportunity to do that. And it's been fun. It's been really nice, because it's brought me in connection and being able to connect all these different types of people and different stories, because it's not just one type of person that's impacted by climate change. It's all of us. And so when it gets into your backyard, it comes home, it comes to your children, it comes to the bird that you love to see and listen to every spring, the food that we eat or that we grow, the farmers that want to be able to hand the farms down to their children and the future generations. it's everybody, it's all of us. And so it's been an honor to listen to these folks. It's been an honor to meet all these people. I feel like my whole, world has been opened up. And so I've learned a lot. I'm listening, I'm learning. And, I hope that is what folks do when they see these stories, when they watch the Climate Listening Project videos, is all I ask is that folks listen, just listen. And generally, we're really trying to get these videos in the right hands, showing these videos to conventional farmers, showing these videos to, conservative groups. I mean, because it's folks like them in the videos. And so they see somebody like them, maybe it's more likely to be able to start that conversation locally or accelerate that conversation, because generally people are, I think, talking about it, even though we're not seeing it as much in the news. We're not maybe, we're still arguing over some things for different reasons, but, we got to keep the forward progress going. So hopefully these stories, can be my contribution, right?
Mm-hmm. So what was, climate change and environmental problems in general is such a broad problem, right? So what was the problem that you saw that made you think, you know what, I'm going to do something about this, or I'm going to think about doing something about this?
I think that, just from a young age, I was confused by the way that we maybe treated each other or even treated animals. I just was always questioning everything. I've always just been curious. And, I became a vegetarian at a young age because I was like questioning even where all of my food came from. And so I, had access to the internet, right? And that was new. Started finding people that were looking for the same things as I was. Found groups that maybe, no, this isn't what I'm looking for. Just tried to learn as much as I could. And when I went to college, I started volunteering at the local zoo. I started volunteering as much as I could with different groups and getting involved in meeting people, networking. And I just remember the community being so welcoming and, just having an opportunity to connect and talk with people about the things that I cared about really was meaningful to me. And so, I went on TV a lot. I was bringing animals on TV, talking to people. I was always going out in the community and talking with people, giving speeches and talking with people. And so I think that, once, it was like years down the road, I just, I kind of said to myself that, I didn't feel comfortable working for one group and always kind of pushing this one thing. And how could I work nationally? How could I work internationally with everybody, right? Which isn't realistic, but also because of social media and because of the way of the internet, I kind of could, because I was able to always be learning what the new tools were, not sticking to one thing, not starting, let me do a PR agency or a social media agency or a film production company or just a science communications company. I didn't have to do one thing. I was able to see what the problem was for, each group, or see what the solution was and showcase that through the different tools that were available at that time, offer it up to, groups that had come into connection with me. Instead of having to try to get that job with them, I could offer these different things that I could do and come under my umbrella. And then with the Climate Listening Project, it's this is what I want to do. This is the tools that I'm using. The storytelling platform. This is how you can work with me now. And so far, folks are doing it. So.
Yeah. Well, you're obviously offering something people want, because you're getting a lot of response from people. So.
It's, I think we need hopeful conversations. I think we need collaboration. And I think everybody knows that. But when you're working in a certain system, sometimes, you don't even know what you want, right? So I think we're seeing a lot more now of different folks figuring out different ways to work together and collaborate and be creative and tell stories, because we have access more than ever to tools to tell our own stories. We can make our own videos. We can get online. We can do this interview right now. You know, it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. And we have the control aspect is great, and it's not as exclusive as it once was to have your story told. You just tell it yourself. Yeah.
This new series, I'm rolling out this 5-part documentary series, and I decided, we all decided to just put it online. So anybody can watch these films on Facebook. It's not behind a paywall, and I feel really good about the fact that anybody can have access to them for free. If folks want to host screenings in their own communities, they can do that. I think it's important to have it everywhere, in whatever way that people want to receive their information. So, having things on television is good, having things on the news is good, having things on Netflix and Hulu and every single platform, app, Snapchat, Discover, everything. But also, having certain things that are just available. And so I've been lucky to work with these different organizations, do my tours, and then be able to provide these tools, just online for everybody.
And you're also taking these stories into communities, like you said, into communities of farmers and showing them the stories of people, which I love, of people like them that, that they can relate to, that they can see themselves in.
Yeah, and it's it's always a positive thing that happens, which is really nice. Where if you're just talking, it's one thing. Who am I, right? I'm just a connector, and so by showing them folks that are like them, it just makes the conversation open up a little bit more. I've been really lucky to have people want to share their stories with me. Folks say that I'm a good listener. That's something that I've tried to learn, and I think it's because I'm curious, but folks will talk with me, and so some of the videos that I've done are more compilation pieces where I'm able to show, look at all these different voices, look at all these different people. And then some of them, we really dig down into some more of the facts, some more information, kind of weaving together the science with the stories. I work with the different collaborators to find the right people. And I try to work with a wide variety of groups so that you kind of watch them, you listen, and then you can almost create your own call to action from them. It's just the information that I've listened to. I've not done this project as a study. I've done it as a listening project. And so I do not have a set list of questions that I ask people. I basically ask a question, and then based on the answer that they give me, I ask them the next question. So it becomes more of a conversation. We kind of take those pieces together. The new documentary series is a more verite style film series. I worked with amazing filmmakers, Adams Wood and Francine Cavanaugh, who had made this film called On Coal River that was just amazing. So these are more following me along on this journey as I travel from state to state and listen to these women. And it shows these women working together. It shows them winning. And so any woman, any parent could watch these stories. This is the most broad audience that I've targeted. But yeah, the birding ones are shown at Audubon chapters around the country. I actually submitted that to a couple film festivals as well. That's the first film that's been showing at film festivals. Mountain True showed it at the Wild and Scenic Film Festival, so that was fun.
Nice.
I'm premiering the Story We Want series at green festivals across the country. So I just did the launch in DC. I'll go to New York in June, and then Los Angeles, and then I'm going to do the premiere also in Asheville at the Collider, which is a new climate collision space with science and data and nonprofits and all these amazing people coming together. So we'll do that in July. So yeah.
Wow, we've got a busy season coming up, for sure.
Yeah, and still filming and releasing. I just released another video with Dear Tomorrow, and I have another one coming out with that's going to be distributed to 4,000 churches across the country.
Great. That's a large reach. I mean, that's a lot of people watching your work.
It's cool. Yeah, you know, the woman that I was talking about, Laura Lennox, the scientist, she was showing them across Europe this past 2 weeks. So to hear that, you know, my videos are showing at Oxford and at the Stockholm Resilience Center, they're being, you know, the wood thrush ones are being shown at different events right now that, you know, are drawing people. The North Carolina Museum of Science, I think, just did a screening in Raleigh. We did a screening also in Raleigh, which is the state capital here, you know, and then to go to DC and take these stories to the capital, going to LA and New York, you know, doing a lot of press along the way. So, you know, you can kind of read about these stories, you can listen on the radio, you can watch them. I'm doing interviews with TV and all these different things. So, you know, there's hopefully folks can connect with it in the way that they want to connect, you know, they can see it in their way.
Definitely. So if you think back 3 years ago, or maybe more than 3 years ago, when you're just like, oh, I think I should do this thing. I should do something. I don't know, probably wasn't called the Climate Listening Project yet, but maybe it was. How did you know the first steps to take? Like, what was your process? How did you figure that out?
I guess that just, you know, for the first 10 years, being on TV, working with different media, you know, I was on all of the different TV stations. I worked with Animal Planet and the Food Network and different folks like that. You know, I had used my voice. I had been a kind of a face. I knew that I wanted to take folks on the journey with me because people kept asking me to take them on the journey with me. And so I think that me kind of being the connector throughout just was something that people naturally it just was something that I kept being put in that place to be that. So, you know, when the first bit of it started, I had usually, you know, worked with collaborators. I would just reach out to my networks. I did a tour where, you know, Chevy Volt gave a car. I had a partner with Discovery Communications blogger and NPR, and you kind of set up these partners to make the tour. And then I planned all the farmers and food producers and wineries and all these organic and biodynamic folks to go and film, get the equipment together, and I did it myself. That was, you know, before I had sort of ideas around how to manage a whole tour where I'm hiring people as well. And so that's one thing that was really important to me that I wanted to do with the Climate Listening Project. So
you started, sorry to interrupt. So you basically started with the skills and like what you already knew how to do, and you're just like, how can I use what I already know how to do to make my vision come alive?
Yeah. When you know, I'd been doing it for other people and kind of being the voice or being, you know, filming these things for so many years. I worked with a lot of different celebrities. I worked with, you know, a lot of different folks, and I would put people in front of the camera, you know, all the time. I love doing that, or I would be in front of the camera. Camera is always just like around. And so, yeah, and working with different people and collaborating. So I took all of those different skills, and I wanted to film. I was working on the Years of Living Dangerously project with the Sierra Club, and we wanted to go out locally and listen to stories. I was like, I want to film them. So I got, you know, I had my own little camera and I filmed it myself. Not like I knew what I was doing. I mean, I didn't have the right sound equipment. I didn't have the right anything, but I just wanted to do it, you know? And so I did it. And then my friend, she went and, you know, presented to this group and was like, you know, somebody give Dayna money to keep doing this. And that's when NRDC stepped in as the first sponsor, gave me a little bit of money. I went and I kept filming. I traveled around the Southeast, and then they came back, and we did more money, and I built it out and hired filmmakers. I've hired 25, I think, plus people in the last 3 years. That are creative individuals that have a lot, diverse, a lot of women, a lot of different folks. And that was something that I wanted because, the idea of being able to build a tour, being able to get out on the streets and listen, and film them in different ways, in different creative ways, different ways that I knew how to do. So each time learning, each time different. And so, yeah, I think even now, with Dear Tomorrow, working on this collaboration, really getting the script tight, you're working with a lot of different people, different visions, and, trying to make it into something that is meaningful, that will resonate with people. And so, in collaboration with them, this new video has been shared by GRIST and Climate Nexus and the Global Catholic Climate Movement, and all these different new groups and individuals and folks that I then, you kind of just keep growing and connecting. When I went to Green Festival, I met so many people, and you kind of see who you meet, what's going to happen, you never know. And then the next thing happens from there, and you try to build it based on the new resources that are available. You try to work with new people while maintaining that base of support and collaboration that already exists, so it more just grows instead of working on a thing, filming it or growing it or promoting, launching it, and then it's over and you're done and you go on to your next thing. This keeps it like it's a growing, living thing all the time,
I like to describe starting a new initiative, or a new business as like rolling a rock on rolling hills. Like you go up, but it's really hard, and then like you gain some momentum and you're going down, and then you're just like, oh no, another hill.
Yeah.
And it's never ending, but it's a fun experience.
Yeah. And I mean, if I were to give advice to somebody, I think that right now people can do whatever they want, right? And so if you have an idea, if anybody has an idea, they want to do something, I mean, all that people could do is say no. So it's like, just keep pitching your thing. Get that together, know what it is. I have these 5-year goals, I have 10-year goals, I know what I want to do. And maybe that's lucky that I do, but I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know who I want to be, I guess, and how I want to contribute. Or at least I know that I want to contribute, but it's like, I think right now it's all so open, it's all so open, and just like being that out of the box or creative is almost better now, which is nice. I'm glad.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good time.
Yeah.
For sure. And there's just so much going on that there, so many people are getting that call to action, whatever that action is. I mean, it can be something as small as, just doing a little photo project.
Yeah.
In your church, it can be anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything. And there's so many different, I think there's so many different folks that don't necessarily know, right now we don't know what's going to work, right? So it's good to try different things. There's no like success. I don't know what success looks like anymore. Because I've had a viral video, or I've had a big news hit, or I've been interviewed by CNN, or I've done these different things. I remember, going to Belize or working with a big celebrity. It's like, this is the this is the thing, right? This is like, I've done something, but this never is, because it's really more about the impact. And, I'm not gonna change the world, right? But I can like try to volunteer. I can try to say yes to the things that I think are gonna help, no matter what the money is, or try to, you know, if I do have big money, do something impactful with it, give it out, use it right, you know, and you know, I don't think we know what's going to work right now, but I know that that we're trying to not only make progress like we have been, but keep the progress that we've had right now more than ever. That since in the decade that I've been alive, now is a scary time, and so it's like I think people are more likely to listen. It's like come on, what are we gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do something, anything. Yeah. So what have you learned about yourself in this whole process?
You know, I think that I've learned that there isn't, you know, it's really about being just every day, being on the journey, and you know, I feel like I've done all the things that I wanted to do. You know, I wanted to do the things that I did, and I'm really glad that I got a chance to do them. And so I think that I've learned what I don't want to do. I think I've learned, you know, how I want to live my life, and um, and I know that I need to be traveling, meeting people, listening to people. I know that I need time alone. I know that I need time to be napping and grateful and like eating chocolate.
Yes.
You know, having space to be creative, you know, and I'm okay with being alone now. I'm okay with being with groups now, and neither of those were comfortable for me before, you know. But I've learned that, you know, that I can be myself, and that's just all that it really is. And so I think that, you know, as anybody gets older, we just kind of learn to try to use our voices and contribute without worrying about what others are going to say. And I've learned that for me, it's more measured on the impact that I make than on the, like, I don't know, the big peaks that are really illusions, you know. You've got to like continuously do the work every day, even if it's just a little bit of one thing, you know, because it's like usually the little things are better, the big end up being the big things anyway.
I love it. I love it. It sounds like a great journey that you're on. And you know, for one, I'm really glad that you decided to take the leap and do it, because I think I think you're, for what it's worth, I think your work is unique. And I think it's a model for a lot of other people who want to do you know, I don't know, a race listening project, or you know, anything in their community. It could be as simple as just having people in their community talk and learn and talk about each other so that they can come together.
I love that. I hope somebody watches this and does that.
Okay, I'm gonna promote that. So cool. Well, thank you so much, Dayna. I really appreciate it.
I love everything you're doing, and you know, it's important. So thanks for listening to me.
Absolutely, and I will make sure I link to your site and to your latest, all your series, all your series, and keep up the good work, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.